Yeah, what's up everybody? Brad here. You haven't seen some Eldar in a while. We've been doing a bunch of other factions, but we've got some Eldar versus Deathwatch for the first time. So going over the Eldar list, I have a Spearhead with 3 squads of 3 Shining Spears and an Autarch. The Spears are going to have their 3-up invuln, and then the Autarch is going to have a Laser Lance. He's also going to have the Shimmer Plum, which is going to give him -1 to hit. He is -1 to hit if you target him. There's not very many good relics with Eldar, so that's just kind of where I landed with it. Then we've got a battalion of Uthway led by Eldrad and a Warlock Conclave. Eldrad is rocking some psychic powers. He's got Will, so that he can make the Guardians auto-pass morale for a turn or 2. Then he's also got Executioner, and he's got Fortune. So he's going to kind of be doing those things. And then the Warlock Conclave has Protect and Jinx and also Quicken and Restrain. They get 2 powers. They will not be running with Smite. They will have the power to buff up Eldrad instead. So we could give Eldrad up to a +4 to cast, which is really super cool for late game Mortal Wound output. And then we're going to have a squad of 19 Guardians. I never take these with weapon platforms or anything like that, so we're just going to be rocking 19 Guardians, and then 2 squads of 5 Rangers, 1 there and 1 there. You could use them for a lot of things. They're good at sitting on back objectives. They're good at dropping in mid-board. They're good at doing deploy scramblers or engage if you choose to do that, so super useful. Then we've got 2 squads. Well, I guess that's it for that detachment. Then over here, we've got... I always forget what the heavy support is, but we've got 4 heavy supports, which is going to be led by a Farseer on a bike. He's going to have Doom and Executioner. And so it's a Spearhead. I always forget it. And then in the heavy supports, we've got a Wraithseer. So he's going to give you a little bit extra smite. He's got a D cannon for indirect fire output. He's got an awesome spear in close combat. He doesn't have a lot of attacks, but D3 plus flat 3 damage is always good. It's a good mid-board threat. And... he is going to also have Protect and Jinx on him as well. So he's kind of there. He's good. And then we've got three squads of weapon platforms, 2 D cannons and a Shadow Weaver in each. So this is a full like indirect fire line of shooting, high AP, high damage output list. The cool thing about those is you could take them for While We Stand, We Fight, and they become individual units. So it makes it very hard for your opponent to deny those from you unless they have a really fast close combat army that can get all the way in your face. And then we've got 2 squads of Warp Spiders. So Warp Spiders, if you don't know what they can do, they can move 46 plus 7 inches, and it's not in advance. So they can do deploy scramblers, they can do banners, they can help get you engaged. They also have the ability to go up in the air and come back down in the same turn anywhere on the board. So they have a native deep strike that you could do within your first turn if you want to, and get deploy scramblers in their deployment zone if they don't block it out. So a lot of movement, threat potential. So yeah, that's kind of it. The Craftworld for these guys is going to be, they will have cover over 12 inches away, so it gives your Wraithseer a 2-up save, and he ignores AP1, which is really cool. Makes your Warp Spiders harder to kill because they can be -1 to hit, and then they have a 2-up save if there's no AP, which is really good. And the weapon platforms, you know, they don't really need it. And then we got Mastercrafted, so we could reroll. The other thing that I take with the weapon platform build like this is being able to re-roll ones for Guardians, and because the weapon platforms do have the Guardian keyword, they fall into that. So it's super useful. And one thing I didn't mention over on the Outrider with the spears and everything, they're going to be getting +1 to their attack on an objective, and then their shurikens are all going to be -1 AP. So because their shurikens are 12-inch range, kind of works pretty well with a fast-moving thing, and going against Deathwatch especially, like any Marine, pushing them to a 3-up if they're in cover or a 4-up is going to help a lot when you have a lot of fire. So yeah, that's my list, and over to Deathwatch.
All right, so here's the Deathwatch kill team list. Leading the charge, we have a Watchmaster. He's basically a chapter master. He has the Tomb, which lets me select a data sheet at any point in the game and reroll wound rolls for units within 6 inches of him. Then we have a Master of Sanctity with +1 to hit and +1 to wound. We also have a Librarian. His powers are the +1 to hit in Overwatch and combat. He also has the select a unit and give them a 5 of funeral pain, as well as the make a unit untargetable if they don't shoot or make a charge. We have an Apothecary just for the Feel No Pain and bringing models back. And then we have a Company Champion with the Relic Storm Shield for an aura of 5-up invuln, as well as CP regen. So in the kill teams, we have a Phobos kill team that has 5 Infiltrators, 2 Reavers, and 3 Eliminators. We have an old school kill team that has 5 Storm Shields with bolt guns, and then 4 bikes, as well as a Vanguard Vet with Lightning Claws. Then we have an Intercessor kill team just with Autobolt rifles. They get to reroll 1s to wound against infantry. Then we also have the Heavy Intercessor kill team, the Indomitor kill team. There's 4 Heavy Intercessors, 1 has a Heavy Bolter. We have 4 Heavy Eradicators, and then the 2 Plasma Inceptors. They get to reroll 1s to wound against units that have the Heavy battlefield roll. And then we have the Chorus Black Star. Let's see if this thing does any damage this game. Should be pretty fun to use. Alright, so here we are at the end, at the bottom of turn 1. Deathwatch just did their move. We won the roll-off to go first. So all we did was just screen the backfield with these Intercessors. Apparently I didn't screen my... Brad, you remember the stratagem called Auspex Scan? You're going to be within 12 of you. Yeah? That's 30 bolter shots coming at you with Auspex Scan.
No.
Oh!
Trying to bait me.
I should have kept my mouth shut. Infiltrators just move on to the objective. We had the Corvus Black Star move into the midboard to just get me Oath of Moment. Shot, killed 4 of the Warp Spiders, and then Brad rolled a 6 for leadership, killing them. My Infiltrators just charged, tagged 2 platforms, and just tagged the Guardians, because there are a lot of shots and it's just no fun. These bikes have been selected by the Librarian for Mantle of the Shadow, so they can't be shot unless he's within 12 inches. We just got a character castle right here in the middle. Not much going on, so now let's see what Brad can do.
Bottom of turn 1 for the Eldar. Basically, I was in a little pickle because he had me touched here, right? So I was forced to play a little defensive. Smite him, smite him, smite him. I got a bunch of smites off. Cleared them off of there, which was really good. I had to buff these guys up a little bit, the Guardians, so I gave him a 5-up Feel No Pain, but I did not protect them at all. So if he shoots at them, I could give him a 4-up invuln, but they're not going to have a 3-up. Yes. And then I have deployed Scramblers right here with the Rangers. So they're just going to hang out. And then I did a bunch of D-cannon shots into the plane. I was able to take that out. Pick a couple pot shots into the Storm Shield guys here. Pick off 1 Storm Shield. I chose to be really aggressive. I advanced these guys over here. And I double moved a Spear Squad. And I was able to get a charge off and kill all of his infiltrators that were on this objective. So I took this away from him, so it'll put him down to 10 on the primary instead of 15, which is really big. And then I shot a bunch of his bikes as well. I was able to kill 2 bikes and a jump pack guy because he failed morale. 3 bikes and a jump pack guy because he failed morale. So that was really big. He did a good job of screening me out here. My Warp Spiders are a little bit in trouble to help me get some more secondaries, but I do have the Rangers and Deep Strikes. Hopefully they can help me. I'm going to get punched pretty hard here, though, so it'll be interesting.
Just had a mediocre turn. I mean, we did kill 2 full squads of bikes, but there's one over here. We popped a tomb to be able to reroll wounds into him. There's one bike over here that just survived. Very sad, because now I'm just not going to be able to defend my deployment zone. We just castled up here in the middle with the 2 Indomitor kill teams, all the characters right here. We pushed onto this objective to remove his primary as well over here with the lone biker that survived. So I do put him down on 5 primary because he's got a little character over there holding that objective. But let's see what the Eldar can do. Bottom turn 2.
Alright, so end of Eldar. Craftworld. Turn number 2. We just kind of shift a little bit back in this back corner here. We ran up with our Psychers to do some psychic stuff. They didn't really do too much. We did buff up the Guardians, so they're going to have +1 to their save and a 5-up Feel No Pain. I was able to shoot the Guardians into the shield guys, barely get kills on them, but then I fire and faded all the way onto this objective, so that was really big. Nobody really saw that one coming, so that was good. Just shifted on this back objective. I've got a couple hard things to kill. He doesn't really have anything that's going to get over here to take that from me, so I'm holding these 2 pretty good. I got a single spear over here. He could try to, slingshot over here with the Chaplain and teleport, and he could do a lot of work potentially there if he gets a charge off or something. And then I deployed Scramblers over here. My Altar came in. He was able to do 2 wounds on a guy only. He didn't really do anything. He whiffed, but I beast moded, 9 out of 10 saves with him at -1. So he only took 1 wound. So that was pretty good. Yeah, I took him off of all the primary except for 1 in the back. So he's going to go down to 5 on the primary. I am in his deployment zone, so he's not going to get that. And now if he wants to fall back or anything like that, he's going to also have to lose points on Oath. So I put him in a little bit of a tricky situation.
He does. All right, so we're about to go into the bottom of turn 3 for Eldar. Deathwatch is just getting a little desperate now. We advanced these guys over here. Apothecary brought back a guy just to steal this objective. We were able to kill the Shining Spear behind that container. Characters just went into here in the middle. They're completely unprotected because these Intercessors fell a 9-inch charge with a CP reroll. These guys came around, killed 7 Guardians, which is pretty cool. And we did put down the Eldar back to 10 primary because he does hold this middle objective. Chaplain's holding the backfield objective, but we are out of tricks.
All right, so we are in the end of turn 3 for Eldar. Again, we're just kind of castling up here. We got the guys off the objective here. Some smites, some shooting. I wanted my Wraiths here to see combat, but he didn't. Eldrad, the man of the hour. Super smites for a 15. Rolls a 5 on damage. Picks up the chapter champion. Then I was able to shoot some D cannons at his other characters. This guy bossed his saves, but the Librarian went down. I did pretty well with D cannons over here. I killed 3 of the guys. I charged with the Rangers, and I really messed up because it pulled me a 1/2 inch outside of Vigil. I should have just left them here. They had no business doing this. I was trying to be on the objective, but the plan just failed miserably. So that was a really big mistake on my part. So he really has to try to kill the Warp Spiders and kill these guys so that he can deny me being in his zone the next 2 turns. I do have Guardians that could probably run up, but it makes it a lot harder for me and makes me overextend. So overall, pretty good turn. And I think on the primary there, I got 10 points. I was holding 2 of them. And going into his turn, I took him off of all of them but 1. So he's going to have this back one here for 5 again. But he does get 5 on Vigil. So big mistake, big mistake.
All right, so getting pretty desperate here with the Deathwatch. We just finished Deathwatch turn 4. Chaplain's now holding this priority objective completely on his own. The Apothecary came over here and slapped 2 of the Warp Spiders dead. He does need to consolidate. It's not be cheeky. And then over here, the Intercessors charged the Guardians that were holding both of these objectives. Used Death to the Alien for +1 attack and killed every single Guardian. Wrapping Eldrad with the Watchmaster right in the center there. Holding both of these objectives. Putting Eldar back on 5 primary. Let's see what they can do at the bottom of turn 4.
All right, this turn's going to be pretty quick. Did a bunch of mortal wounds here. Picked up a bunch of Intercessors, 5 or 6, and then got another one in combat. They failed morale, so he's got 2 left. Went from 10 down to 2. Eldrad lived with 1 wound. He has Fortune on himself, which is really good. All my D cannons just popped shots that the guys that were on here and the Apothecary picked them up. And my Warp Spider's just hanging back here. The Chaplain's probably going to be able to shoot him and might kill him. But it's okay. I've denied him all the secondaries there because it's the last turn now. So, yeah, we're looking pretty good.
All right. I don't know if you guys are watching this game. This is ridiculous. This Chaplain supposed to kill this 1 wound Warp Spider to, like, get me the Long Vigil. Fails miserably. The Intercessors shot Eldrad, did nothing, charged him, killed him, then lost 3 wounds to these 2 little council guys. So very sad. So very sad. It's all going wrong, and then Eldar just gonna finish up the game.
All right, so wrapping the game up, we'll throw the score up to see what it is. Pretty close game. I was able to just kind of pick them off. Got 15 points on the primary at the end to wrap it up. That's definitely a good positive for going second nowadays. And yeah, I was pretty much just able to deny him some stuff. He did a really good job throwing stuff in, taking my primary away, made it a close game. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those fun things.